Good morning, Wildcat fans, and welcome to the John Olive Fifth Quarter Show. My name is Benny Garrick, and with me is Coach John Olive, the head coach, with the coffee pot.
With the coffee pot.
Again.
It's always good to have it on Saturday morning.
It is. It is. What an atmosphere for football last night.
I think it's the loudest our stadium's ever been. I know it is since the new one has been built. I mean, it was deafening down there on the sidelines. There was one time there in the fourth quarter, I'm trying to have a conversation during a timeout with the official on our sideline, and it looks like I'm yelling at him because we're having to yell at the top of our lungs to be able to hear. It was so loud. The bands were constantly playing. I thought it was a great atmosphere for Friday night football.
It's the way Friday night football ought to be. Maybe not the quality it should be.
No, it's not the quality, but it is.
But the
atmosphere was really, really good.
But the Cats go to 2-2 now.
2-2 and go back into the district this week.
And if you go 1-3, you're just really in a hole. So that was a big victory last night.
Yeah, it was a big victory from the standpoint of community pride.
Sure.
That was the big thing. Both communities, both Manchester and Tullahoma, support their athletic programs really well, and there's just a lot of community pride on the line. And I tell the players that they play this for everybody.
And that's the reason you can't say that somebody's a real favorite, because we've had teams before, both towns, that were very good, and the other team will end up winning.
That's correct, and
because of that pride factor.
Somebody asked me last night about it, and it was ugly, but you know what? A win's a win in this series. I learned that a long time ago, that you just be happy that you wake up on Saturday morning and the coffee pot is here instead of elsewhere.
And you've accomplished that 18 of your 20 seasons here, right?
I think 17.
17.
What it is. I think I was told that last night by somebody, but I think we've lost to them 3 times during that time period.
That's a pretty good record.
So I'd like it that way where I can keep up with how many times we lost. I'd hate to be on the other end and be able to not be able to remember. We've been very fortunate. Our Jimmys and Joes have been very athletic over the years, or more athletic over the years, and that's what it still comes down to, is Jimmys and Joes. As you watch this ball game, it's a very physical football game. Both teams will play very, very hard. We don't execute as well as I would like for us to do. We keep playing what I call ugly football, and that is we keep shooting ourselves in the foot, either by making mistakes or by giving up big plays, etc. But the one thing I was happy with last night, and I thought it was probably the difference in this football game, is our special teams finally won.
Yes.
A game. We had not won that segment of any of the first 3 games, and we finally won the special teams last night, and we had short fields all night long to take advantage of. I bet you we don't have 300 yards in offense, but we've got 24 points plus a punt return.
Yeah. It was kind of like some of your earlier teams, where every time they punted, you expected them to go all the way.
Yes, and it was just a great job. You look at our kickoff return, even though they were squibbing it or onsiding it or whatever, we always started outside the 35-yard line, and that's just a
several
huge
times
plus.
In their territory.
In their territory, which we were able to continue those drives into the end zone.
Okay, Coach, I think the protocol here is we go to commercial break and then come back and start the game.
Ascend Federal Credit Union, raising possibilities. Since 1917, Builder Supply has been the place to go for all your building materials. It's where the contractors have shopped for years. Builder Supply stocks quality Benjamin Moore paint, Tamco shingles, case knives, DeWalt, Stanley, and Makita tools, Peachtree's Southern Rose and Sun windows, Trader's grills, Quickset locks, General Shale brick, Yellow wood, and Pass Load nail guns and nails. Experienced salespeople are there to help you find the right products for your job. So when you're ready to build, whether large or small, think Builder Supply, 301 South Atlantic Street in Tullahoma.
It's football time in Tennessee. Keith Barnett here with the Russell Barnett Automotive family, where we're ready for another great season. The name you've trusted for over 30 years and home of the million-mile warranty. Stop by one of our 4 locations and catch that next great deal. Russell Barnett Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Chevrolet GMC, Ford and Mercury in Winchester, and Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. My question is, why buy anywhere else?
What in the world could ever be?
He for real, you can see it in his swagger. You can see it in his swagger. He a boss, you can see it in his swag. How we walk, how we talk.
A lot can change in 2 years, but not everything has to. With the Charter Price Guarantee, lock in low rates for 2 years, because sometimes it's nice to know what's on the road ahead.
Our captains last night, number 40, Dalton Cox, middle linebacker, fullback, tight end. Number 27, Trey Burks, tailback and safety. Number 9, Justin Brown, quarterback, and would be an outside linebacker and may become an outside linebacker as we get down to crunch time going through this season. And then number 87, Caleb Olive, who's a wide receiver and plays safety as well. I think both of us wanted the football to try to set the tempo last night, as I knew we wanted the football, and Coffee County wins the toss and they take the football. And there's one good thing about having the video board there at the stadium. If they turn those mics, the mic on, yeah, I at least know who has won the toss.
Yeah, I like
instead of me trying to figure out, because sometimes you can't see over people and so forth.
They do it wrong sometimes out there. They pat it on this shoulder and the other one goes the other way.
But anyway, we'll be kicking off, defending the scoreboard, kicking the ball toward the school.
Coach, one of the things that I realized at the start there was when we ran out on the field, the cheerleaders lead the players. Those cheerleaders can run.
They're pretty
Maybe
athletic.
You should recruit some of them.
They're very athletic. Alex Kaderi there and Trevor Denny make the stop. Great hit. They're on shift right here, and as we're moving around, we cross the neutral zone, so we end up giving them 5 yards right off the bat.
And that rule has changed, and you can't cross and then go back.
Right. And, just moving from one end, moving down right there, we just ended up stepping into it. And so anyway, they open up with a sweep with their big junior tailback, Rozier, and they're a power running team. You got a 200-pound, 205-pound back, and that's what they're going to try to do, is set the tempo of running the football right at you. And a host of Wildcats there on the tackle, and one around his ankles there's Cody Michael, and you'll see him wrapped around the ankles quite a bit. That time, I think it was Michael Lett coming in from the backside, making the stop there, and it's 4th down and short, and they choose to go for it from their own 42, and gets a good spot and gets the first down. And they come back and run just a little quick screen here and pick up another first down before Brandon Koch and Zane Price can make the stop. And you're going to see them run the sweep now the other direction. And Jonathan Floyd does a great job right there. He doesn't make the tackle, but he ends the play. It's a good job by John Floyd, and he's going to come back right here and make another good play. And there's John Floyd getting the sack. And that's 2 good plays for a senior there that we lost him last year as a player, and we're glad to have him back. And Cody Michael almost had his second interception in as many weeks. And great job by the punt return team here. That's the way to get after that gunner. Good move there by the returner, great block. And now we're off to the races. And that's a great job by Trey Burks for the touchdown and the punt return team as a unit. And we talked about that all week long, that we thought we had a good opportunity if we could get him to punt it far enough down the field that we felt like we could get one returned. And it's nice for a change for us to jump out to a lead instead of being behind. And Cody Morton, who was good on the PAT, puts that one in the end zone, and that's a great weapon to have. Make them start at the 20. And I think as you watch this, if you watch where they start versus where we start drives from, you'll see that's the difference in the game. We blow our coverage right there, and they end up making good yardage as Mr. Brown makes the catch there. And we need to make that play. We had him in the backfield. We just need to take better angles, and that would have been no gain instead of a 2-yard gain. They try to run a quick trap right there, and Dalton Cox and Trevor Denny on the stop. And if you're watching this replay later on and you're trying to figure out what a quick trap is, just watch the left guard. He was pulling on that play to trap our tackle. We ought to eat this one up, but good play by Mr. Rozier. Zane Price and Mike Lett finally get him down, but not until he gets a first down. They'll try that play later on, and they get out of it what they should have gotten out of it every time they tried it. I mean, we had people there. It wasn't like we didn't have them there. We just didn't tackle that time. They're running a little option here, and Jonathan Stovall knocks him out of bounds as we had 2 people take the dive instead of 1 take dive and 1 take quarterback. Get some movement there. And here's the little swing again, and again we've got people right where they need to be, and this time he gets back to the line of scrimmage. And that's the first of many for us. That's probably the most disappointing thing for us defensively, is that we gave up way too many yards on jumping off sides because we weren't watching the movement of the offense. Good job by the defense right there. We do get them stopped on a 4th down try. And now we're opening up the ball game, and we've got Trey out at wide receiver, 1-on-1 against a corner, and he picks up good yardage. We're going to come back right here and try to hit Zane Price right in the middle of the field, if I remember right, and ball's just a little bit behind him. So it's 3rd down, and we're going to end up running the ball right here. And we get enough for the first down. They've kind of changed up their defense on us. We're expecting a 3-4, and they're playing more of a 4-4 type look now. And we tried to draw them off sides and didn't get it done. Come back though and hit Cole Potter on a quick hitch and pick up about 6-7 yards. And we're going to run Trey right up the gut here, and good quickness and speed, and some good cuts. I thought he did a lot better last night at trying to move the ball north and south. We try to draw him off again, just slow down some of those blitzers and so forth that have been coming. And we're going to run Jonathan Stovall right up the gut. And good cut by Jonathan, and it's a way to run the football. And Coffee County takes a timeout as we've moved the ball right down the field. We're at the 11-yard line. And we're going to try to run Jonathan through there again with a little bit different style blocking scheme, but we're not able to do it that time as number 69 bounced off his block. And so right here we're going to come back and do a play action pass, something that we put in for them just to try to take advantage of what they were doing defensively. And Zane Price gets the touchdown pass there from Justin Brown, and Trevor Denny snaps it to Caleb Olive, who puts it on the block, or what's part of a block. It's just the top of a block. It's the first time, Denny, that we've had a kicker basically kick without a kicking block.
You know, I noticed that last night, and I wondered if they had changed the rules, or that's just his style.
Well, both our kickers have gone to kicking camps in the summertime, and that's how they're teaching them at the kicking camps now.
Well, if they're going to get to the next level, they're going to have to kick without a tee.
And what we did, because we're in a little bit of a different situation than those college teams who have what I call professional holders and professional kickers, that's all they work on.
Yeah.
Our holders and sometimes our kickers play other positions. We have sawed the square off the top of a block so that we've got a landmark to take the ball down and put it on. So it's just a little old thin piece of rubber, about 2 inches by 2 inches, that gives us a mark, though, for the holder to take the ball down and put it on that.
But it's not like it's thick.
No, it's not like normally. Back when I played, we used 2-inch blocks because everybody was a straight-on kicker.
Right.
And over the last 20 years, we had gone to 1-inch blocks for the soccer-style kickers. And now this one is a 1-inch block that's been cut with nothing but that top 1/4 inch, basically. Something that we can lay on the ground that gives us a mark, and that it actually, serves as our block.
Well, that's good to know.
And so anyway,
the average person won't know that.
No, something a little different, something we've not had to deal with before.
Okay, end of the first quarter, we're up 14-0. Commercial break coming up.
Mark, you've won just about everything there is to win in racing. What's next?
I'd like more people to know about ER Extra.
The emergency room at Harton Regional Medical Center?
I just want them to get the best care they can get.
That just gets me right here, Mark.
Maybe you'd like to pay them a visit.
ER Extra at Harton Regional Medical Center.
ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Clayton has been Tullahoma's family shoe store for over 100 years with a reputation for fashion and personal service. and the tradition continues today. Stop by Clayton and see our large selection of fine shoes.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Unlike all the rest, Southern Community Bank will provide you with a different banking experience because you are our first priority. Our services are intuitive. Our team is friendly. Our approach is refreshing. Our support to the community is unwavering. And our service is clearly unique. We offer accounts that make banking simple and hassle-free with all the conveniences you want and need most. Call Southern Community Bank and experience the bank that is unlike all the rest.
Hey football fans, I'm Miss Tennessee 2012, Chandler Lawson, and spokesperson for Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee. 1 in 4 Tennessee children don't know where their next meal is coming from, and often their struggles are silenced. In Tullahoma, 5 Loaves for Kids sees that need and ensures that hundreds of students are fed each weekend. But that wouldn't happen without dedicated volunteers and generous contributions. So tonight, I'm asking you to contribute to the fight against child hunger. Please visit www.5loavesforkidscharity.com to lend your voice.
All right, Manchester opens up the second quarter with the football and good cut right there. That good run. You know, we've got to stay flatter on the line of scrimmage there to keep the backside cutback from happening. But Rozier is a great cutback runner. He makes a lot of yardage on his cutbacks.
He's big and strong.
He is very big and strong, and you know, I'm sure he'll keep working to improve his speed. And boy, that hurt. That was a pass play that we worked on. I mean, that's one of their favorite pass plays. That and a boot, and they executed it very well right there. Meeker finds the open receiver out of his 3 receivers, and we just don't have anybody close to him. So we end up giving up a touchdown. So it's 14-7. And they kick the ball out of bounds, and so we'll take the ball at the 35. And we're going to end up turning the ball right back over to them. This is one of those things that we'll learn from. The receiver runs one route, and the quarterback's throwing another route, and so we throw an easy interception right here. And Jeffrey Simmons there on the interception, and so we've turned the ball right back over to them. And just hard-nosed physical football right there. Both teams just throwing a lot of bodies into the mix. And great job there. Jacob Pearson's the first one to hit him before a host of Wildcats get to him. We've got them backed up, long yardage situation. And so we're ready to try to return another one, and this time they punted out of bounds. They got a great mark.
I didn't particularly like that mark.
Well, you saw where it landed on the track.
Yeah.
So that means it took about a 90-degree turn. So great mark there. But anyway, we've got the ball. We're in great field position. We need to go score. And here they're blitzing, and you know, it's just one of the things that happens when you got an inexperienced quarterback there. We didn't get out of it here. We need to throw the ball now, and Justin will learn from that. And you know, it's not easy being a quarterback. Jared Davis had a tendency, as good as Jared was, to do that sometimes, to get in the habit of hanging on to the football instead of 1, 2, 3 throw. And so we throw a pick six. So we have let them right back in the game. We had a chance there to stretch it back out, and instead Coffee County makes a good play and returns it for a touchdown. And we're 14-14 now instead of us having a chance to get up by 2 scores.
I like that.
And that's a great job by sophomore Riley Darden. And, great field position. Absolute great field position. Well, they try to hit Riley over here and runs like a sophomore right there. Instead of just catching the ball and running and getting the 5 or 6 yards, we end up getting a couple of yards out of it. And here we got a misalignment and just had some young receivers that didn't know what to do, and so cost us bad. Just cost us a lot. We try to run basically a draw play looking thing. Just thought we might be able to spring Trey back through there, and we can't get all the first down, and I decide we need points and don't waste that kickoff return, and so we do get 17. The field goal was good by Cody Morton, and up by 3. And Cody does a good job there, good deep kick. And kickoff team is down there, and we're going to tackle him inside the 25-yard line, and that's a very, very good job. And they try a quick screen here, and it's no good. There was a penalty on that play. I think they got called for a cut block, if I remember right, chop block. And good job there. Got Trevor Denny and Joe London meeting back there in the backfield with the quarterback in between them. It's a good feeling for the defensive coaches, and Meeker's going to come right back right here, and we let him get outside us. And then we're going to get a penalty added on. So now we're 3rd down and 2 or 3 instead of it being long yardage and, Mr. Rozier finally broke one, and Coffee County goes right back up on top. So we went from looking like we were going to have them backed up deep in their territory to letting them out of it completely. Good job by Van Williams there. Pulls the ball in, and we're going to take over at the 38-yard line. Good field position again. We pick up 3 or 4 there. And they're bringing the heat and trying to hit his hot man, and nearly threw an interception. And we really, when we get to halftime, we're going to just try to take a little heat off Justin there, make sure that we've got our protections and so forth, and not able to pick up the first down there, not able to hang on to the ball. So we end up having to punt it away. And things aren't looking very good for us right now. There's a lot of momentum in the ball game that has switched to the other side of the field. And Cody Morton gets a 52-yard punt right there. And again, we've got Coffee County backed up on their end of the field. which is, to me, this becomes the pivotal point of the ball game as we go back and forth, that we're constantly starting in good field position. I don't know what our average starting place was, but it was a lot better than Coffee County's. Comes the tight end over, and here comes the motion man. They're trying to outnumber us over here. Brandon Coates on to make the tackle, along with Michael Lett. There we go, jumping off sides again. That's either 3 or 4 for the first half. I think we ended up with 6 for the entire night. Something we'll work hard on. And there, we're just not coming flat down the line, and linebacker over scrapes, and Rozier cuts it back, and they get a first down. Same play they just ran a second ago. And this time the runner cuts it up in there. And it's late in the second quarter now, so we're backed off just a little bit. We don't want to give up any big plays. And they try hook and ladder, flea flicker, whatever you want to call it. They do a good job of making sure that we don't give anything up. And I think this will be the last play of the half. And they just run the football, and Michael Lett grabs onto him, and others come to join in. And we're going to go in at halftime down by 4, but we get the ball to start the third quarter.
And we've, to use your term, shot ourselves in the foot.
Yes.
I mean, we gave them their points.
We've not played as well as we can.
Yeah.
And we'll play better in the third quarter, and that kind of sets the tempo for the rest of the game.
And we're sitting here with the coffee pot.
That's correct.
Okay, I guess we have a halftime show. Commercial break first.
And we'll take that commercial break, and I think I saw our band getting ready to load up, so they must be going to a competition today, and I'm sure they'll do well. They always do well at their competitions.
They have to practice just about as hard as a football team.
They do. They put in a lot of hours in. And I'll say this, the band, I'll come back to it.
Hello, Trent McNabb here, welcoming you to the brand new showroom at Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac in Tullahoma. And here's something they don't have across town. Come check out our brand new state-of-the-art service drive.
Hello, Trey McNabb here, General Manager of Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep. You've seen my little brother on TV. I taught him everything he knows, except how to give you more money for your car. Come see me.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force.
Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
To be a star athlete, you have to use the right equipment. Anything short of that is, well, ineffective. Make Top Rehab the best tool in your bag, especially after you've had a sports-related injury. Yes, you may get tired. Yes, you may get uncomfortable. But when the final rehab whistle blows, you get results. Top Rehab, the right equipment for your star athletes.
Welcome to the Rose Bowl. The team's taking the field. Not many people. Oh, my. He missed. Off to a rough start here. Somebody wants to go home. What's he doing?
If you're not watching college football in HD, you're watching Pee Wee TV. Graduate to Charter TV in HD and let it all in.
two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our seed. From ancient Budge, grateful to be new, where civil blood makes civil hands. From the fourth of the field lawns of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers, taking death.
Since 1889, Traders Bank has been helping our neighbors realize their dreams. Whether our customers are looking to put a roof over their heads, try their hand at entrepreneurship, or see themselves behind the wheel of a shiny new car, the folks at Traders Bank have always been ready to dive in with them. Because at Traders, we lend you more than just money. We lend you our good name. Traders Bank, you're welcome.
Hello, I'm Jim Woodard from Woodard's Diamond Showroom. Some think that since we're a single store operation, we don't have the buying power of the mega chain or department stores. Woodard's is a part of the Master IJO Jewelers, the world's largest jewelry buying group. This gives us the power of $800 million in sales. You get the best of both worlds, the buying power of a major with the customer service of a hometown jeweler. Woodard's Diamond Showroom inside Northgate Mall of Tullahoma.
Are your teeth dull, chipped, stained, or crooked? If so, call the dental practice of Dr. Mike Long. For a wider, brighter, more attractive smile, Dr. Long offers cosmetic dentistry at its best through whitening, bonding, and veneers. Dr. Long also uses laser technology, eliminating anesthesia and drilling. When you are ready to enhance your smile, call Dr. Mike Long, Family Practice Dentistry for 29 years.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Okay, Coach, before we get to the pretty girls, something we didn't have on film here, but before the game, the Tullahoma SRO made a very nice tribute to the Coffee County SRO who died a few months ago, and I thought it was well done. Okay, Coach, you're on.
Okay. We have two young ladies here with us that are very instrumental in our program, and you know, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that do things, and these two young ladies are sometimes behind the scenes and sometimes out in front of everybody, and they have done a marvelous job at taking care of trying to keep us coaches in line, and they do just a marvelous job as managers for our football team. And sitting on my left over here is Candy Curran, and Candy's grandparents, longtime gatekeepers here at Tullahoma. I call them Miss Betty and Papa Gene because that's what my kids called them growing up. And so Candy's on my left, and I'll let her talk here in just a second. And then over beside you is Paige Gilbert. And Paige and Candy both, they spend a lot of it today. They'll spend doing laundry, trying to get the uniforms back to being clean, and they'll pull out everything that's got to be sewn up. And I'm telling you, they do a marvelous job. And as Candy said a minute ago, you're going to miss us when we're not here next year, and that's exactly right. But Coach Oakley's going to miss them big time because it'll be Coach Oakley down there doing laundry. If these girls were supposed to have recruited some help, some younger help to replace them, to start training them and so forth, but we'll start all over brand new next year with hopefully some other managers, but we'll enjoy the two that we got for the rest of this year, though. And Candy, I'll begin with you. You might want to tell them a little bit about some of your responsibilities.
Well, like, some of our responsibilities consist of, like, during the week we get stuff ready for practice, we give them water at their practice, and we have to set out jerseys and their uniforms and all that. And yeah, it's a lot of work, but I enjoy it, and I think I might do it in college. Okay, and it's a way for you to pay for a college education nowadays.
as a lot of schools give full full scholarships, or at least tuition scholarships for people to be those people who make things happen behind the scenes. Paige, you want to fill in between?
A lot of it is getting what the guys want, but also making sure it's what we need them to. A lot of the time they want just different stuff to make them look better, like with their pants. But they're not too picky, but we do ice and do the water horse and clean the coolers and cups and everything to make sure that they're okay with all that.
Trying to keep us from passing everything around.
Right.
And, you know, if you were to go through their day today, now last Saturday you got finished in how many hours? 4, and that's the shortest that I can remember. They beat me out of there on last Saturday, and but Sunday they do get off, and then Monday one of them will probably be getting things ready for the JV to go play, and then Tuesday they're there just as long as the players are. Wednesday they're there longer than the players, because Thursday, Wednesday you start some laundry from the practice stuff and so forth, and then Thursdays they're there longer than the players because they stay in wax helmets on Thursday, and if they weren't the last 2 to leave last night, they'll always be close to the last 2 to leave, and then they're back up early in the morning and ready to start the next day. So it's probably a thankless job, but a very essential job.
Paige, didn't I see you offer the official a drink last night?
Yes, sir. We always try to make sure that they get a drink, because, I mean, they're doing just as much work as all of us on the sideline, so it's always something to ask.
Well, it was plenty warm last night. I was hot.
That humidity was way up. All right, girls, you got any last things you want to say before we move on?
Not really.
You can say hi to your moms and dads. All right, we open up third quarter, and they kick the ball off on the ground. Zane Price picks it up, and we got great field position. Zane returns it to the 46-yard line of Coffee County. And we open up with a set that we feel like is still there for us to take advantage of, and this time we find Cole Potter quickly, and Cole makes a good run, picks up a first down. So we've got the ball down inside the 30 now. And Justin does a good job of escaping there, picks up a block by Zane, and he picks up about 9 yards on the play, 8 yards, something along those lines. And they're bringing linebackers just about every play now. And good run, good cut by Trey. And we pick up the first down. And with them bringing so many of the linebackers, we decided to try to hit it up in there, and then I guess it's the next play, we're going to bounce it wide on them. And you see both linebackers kind of sticking their nose up in there, and the outside people are tightening up.
Now this is the cut I like.
Yeah, that's good improvement for Trey.
Yes.
He's getting better and better. That's the kind of running that will get him to the next level. And so we go up now 24-21, and that's what we talked about at halftime, was coming back out and being able to do that. And Cody Morton, who got the PAT, puts the kickoff in the end zone. Here comes pass off the power game, and they execute it well. Big tight end makes the reception, and they get a first down. They come back, try to throw the quick screen there. Second down and about 8. And here comes Rozier, and They just got to do a better job of tackling. He picks up about 4. And they've got a trip set here, and here comes the boot pass, and fullback picks up the first down before Caleb's able to make the tackle there. And Rozier running the power to the weak side there, picks up about 3. Pretty good job there by the linebackers plugging it. And they're going to try the little swing pass, and Mike Lett right where he needs to be, and Trey Burks comes quickly, and we get him out of bounds for little to no gain. And here comes a reverse, and Van Williams. Great job by Van. And big loss. They have to punt the ball, and their punter, fortunately for us, unfortunately for them, drops the punt, or the snap, and I think it was Trevor Denny that got a hand on that. Not positive. Sure, on Monday somebody will let me know. We try to run the ball up inside again with Trey, and don't win the battle that time at the line of scrimmage. Come back, and we're going to throw a quick pass out here to Caleb, and that's the way to go north and south. Takes a 4-yard pass and turns it into an 8 or 9 yard gain, and leaves us 3rd and short. The blitz is coming right up the middle. Justin pulls it, hits it out here to Zane Price, and that's good hard running by Zane, and we pick up the first down. And that's a good execution right there. We were missing that in the first half, and just a good job. Manchester will take another timeout. And we come back, hit Cole Potter right there, and pick up the first down to the 10-yard line. And good yardage. We're down to the 4 on the first down play with Trey Burks. Good job keeping the linebacker held at bay out there at the outside instead of him being able to squeeze down, and then Trey Burks around the left end there for the touchdown. And 3rd quarter could not go much better than it's gone for us as Trevor Denny snaps it, Caleb Olive puts it down, and Cody Morton puts it through to make it 31-21. Simmons is going to return this kick. We should have nailed him right there, but we don't. But Van Williams and Shamar Smith make the tackle. Still got them inside the 30-yard line. I think every special teams met their goal last night. Good job, Joe London. It's a way to keep running after him. We've got the unbalance to the wide side of the field, and poor tackling and hard running. Zane Price, Trevor Denny finally make the tackle, but not until they've got the first down and cross midfield. And here comes your speed sweep, and we just need to make a little bit better play there. We do knock the ball loose, but they're able to recover it. And again, we're there. We just don't make the play. Good hard run there by that young man. And Coffee County picks up another first down. There comes your shift over to where they're got the numbers out here. Now they got the numbers big time. They try to run the fullback on a G play where the front side guard's pulling the kicker in, and defensively Cody Michael and others play that rather well to hold them to a short game. And here comes your quick screen again. And Caleb Olive grabs his feet, and Cody Michael, and makes it third down and short at the end of the third quarter. And we've at least come out and established command, but it's definitely not over as we're not able to keep them pinned down in their end of the field.
You might as well take some credit for some halftime adjustments, Coach.
Well, Coach Britton and the defense, they made some adjustments. We did, from a leverage standpoint, we felt like we were getting out leverage. Coach Britton felt like we were getting whipped up front, and that changed in the third quarter. Offensively, we really stayed with doing what we were doing in the first half. We just executed it better. Got people to understand what they needed to do, and part of it, you know, Justin Brown's on the get a lot of compliments when he does really great, and he's going to get a lot of negatives when things aren't so great, and that's part of being a quarterback. But this is only his fourth game of playing quarterback, and he's played better than we ever thought he would play, and I may have put too much in now, and we may just need to draw some back out and simplify again and help him out a little bit. And our offensive line, they've got to keep improving, and if they keep improving, then we'll be okay offensively.
It's hard to imagine what a quarterback has to learn. You've just got to be there and experience it.
And it is, and I've talked with Jared Davis now that he's over at Tennessee Tech a little bit on how they do things, and we may go back after this season and do some things a little differently just to help simplify the game a little bit, because the quarterback has to absorb so much nowadays that you know, there's probably better ways of doing it than what we do right now. But I'm proud of Justin Brown and the job he's done. And last night, you know, one of the big problems we had, players couldn't hear the play in the huddle. Well, unless you know, when you're out on the practice field, you don't sit there and speak real loud what the play is, because there is no noise.
Right.
Well, I remember Jared Davis last year in practice, you could hear every play he called. Mm-hmm. Because he had learned that when you're in a packed stadium, you speak loudly in a huddle because the defense can't hear you. Your own players are the only ones that can barely hear you. And that was one of the things we discovered at halftime, is that our players weren't hearing everything in the huddle. And Justin's going, well, I'm talking, you know, and blocking scheme. He's calling the blocking scheme his protection, but the lineman can't hear him. And so that's just that's stuff we'll learn from, and next time we're in that environment, which hopefully will be in a couple of weeks when we've got Franklin County rolling over here, we'll do a little bit better at communicating.
I saw your athletic director at halftime, and while he was disappointed in the fact that we were behind, he was kind of happy about the gate.
I'm sure he was, because it turned out to be a packed stadium.
Yeah.
I'm glad. We needed it.
Yeah.
And we appreciate the support from everybody in the community, because our athletic department, that money's flows through the football program, and a lot of it continues right on down
to the other
programs, and we needed that, and we appreciate it very much, and we appreciate the support. It was a great environment last night.
Speaking of support, let's go to some people that support us.
They say you see the world differently. It's like you see the miracle of life in even the smallest things. That's what it feels like to survive. St. Thomas Heart has more locations than anyone in the state, giving more heart patients a new lease on life. For more than 40 years, they've been leaders in cardiac care. That's experience you can count on.
Do you need a part for your car that the dealer just wants too much money for? Well, bring your toolbox and pull the part yourself for huge savings at the CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull on Highway 55 between Tullahoma and Manchester. No walking through waist-high weeds here. All of our vehicles are located in our graveled parking lot, up on blocks with room to work. We stock hundreds of cars and trucks, foreign and domestic, new and old, with new vehicles added weekly. You can even search our entire vehicle inventory online. And if your old vehicle gives up the ghost, bring it by. We offer top dollar for your salvage vehicle. Open to the public 7 days a week until 6:30 or until dark, so there's plenty of time to come by. That's CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull.
The Wash Spot on North Jackson Street in Tullahoma is your new state-of-the-art, high-tech express tunnel car wash that gets your car clean quickly and beautifully. We have 4 washes available, from the $6 Express Wash to the $12 Supreme Clean, featuring DuraShield Total Car Protectant. Just pick your wash and let the Express Tunnel Wash leave the dirt behind. After the wash, you can help yourself to one of the free vacuums. Come by 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to get the best wash in town at a great price. We're located at 2180 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma. The Wash Spot, locally owned and operated.
Life moves fast, but on the internet, it moves at super speed. Like the awesome video that was posted last night. Today it'll be shared, then adored, then parodied, then overexposed. And by tomorrow morning, rediscovered by a whole new generation of users.
Download faster, upload faster, stream faster, and experience life at the speed of internet with high-speed Charter Internet.
Assisted by Valena Sanders.
Started the fourth quarter here. And they're not able to hang on to the pass there and pitch and catch. Defense needs to make a big stop. And Rozier running the ball hard, shoulders are down, and he picks up the first down. There's the quick trap again. And pretty good job by Dalton Cox and company there. And we jump off sides again. Give them 5 yards. Good job. Nice way to hang on to the foot, Joe London. And here comes good play call by them. They just don't execute the play, but that's a good play call. We were having to do some things to give us some support to the strong side over there where they were hurting us running the ball, and it was leaving our corners one-on-one, and they do a good job of executing and of calling them, or hitting us in the right area, and we just fortunate they didn't catch the ball. Mika was on target, and so it brings up a big fourth down. And this time we're in a little better shape as Brandon Koch actually has a chance at the interception, and so the offense takes over with the football here, and we need to try to run some clock. And we don't execute that play very well at all. Justin made the correct read right there, but we are not lined up correctly, and we just don't operate the play very well. We come back and try to run a play that Cam Newton made really popular down at Auburn a few years ago, with quarterback and running back kind of running along together, and the quarterback makes a decision on whether to keep the ball or not. And we thought we could keep the ball up underneath, and that was probably the one interception that really bothered me more than the others. We shouldn't have had an interception in that situation, but that's part of it. And again, miscommunications was primarily the reason, and we'll learn from that. put our defense in a bad situation, and they are standing tall right now. As the defensive front there, along with Cody Michael, do a good job. Good coverage here. And you see 3 Cardinal shirts around 1 white shirt. That's a pretty good coverage job. Come back and we flush him out of the pocket. And good job here, not getting a personal foul. And so defense, great job. Just a fantastic job in a bad situation there. We're not winning the war up front right now. We're getting it taken to us when we need to be punching them to finish this game off. And we're going to hit Zane Price because of what they were doing alignment-wise, the numbers they were committing to stop the run. We hit Zane and pick up big yardage, get the ball on their end of the field, which was nice, and then Trey has a very nice run there. Good blocking by Dalton Cox. And we just could not get this play to work for us last night. Just had problems trying to execute. We felt like it was there, a little trap play for us, and we're just not getting it executed. And I can't tell you what happened here. I never even asked. But for whatever be the reason, we weren't ready for the snap. And so find out on Monday exactly what happened. We're now in a long yardage situation, and they've gone to what's called 2-man, and just good play there by Simmons. Cole Potter had him beat, and Simmons just barely able to get his hands on the ball. Coffee County takes a timeout there, and it's 4th down and long, and just inexperience right here keeps us from executing this play. And we'll learn from this, and we'll make that play work next time. As we had the play that we needed to have in that situation against that type of coverage and just didn't execute it. Second down and about 6. And we just don't want to give up a big play. That's the number one thing. Don't give up a big play. And Van Williams in coverage there as the ball was thrown to the outside of the receiver. And they're going to bring this receiver back in, and they'll bring the other one across in motion, and they're going to run a flood route here. That same one they scored on. And they've got the same guy wide open again as we had gone right by him. And we've got to do a better job at recognizing routes. And so we'll work harder on that. And good job by Coffee County there. That little wrinkle there that they did off their flood routes, and good job by Meeker hitting Rozier. Getting some pressure on the quarterback, but we're not getting to him, and he's able to complete it there to Simmons, and they pick up about 8. And I believe this is where they pick up a first down there, hitting the fullback in the flats. And I think this is where Aaron Banks will make a big play here. Aaron Banks is going to get, I think, I don't know what number of sack that is, but it's the first one we've had in a long time. We had several there in the first half, and had not been able to get to him in the second half. They're going to run a little play here where they pitch it back to Brown, who was a quarterback last year. Before his knee injury, and he throws it deep there, and Riley Darden, sophomore, safety in there playing. Actually probably got to play a lot more last night on defense because of the injury to Jonathan Stovall, and Great interception and good return, good blocking there by the defense. And we're in victory formation, though we haven't practiced it enough, obviously. And so I told one of the coaches last night, remind me on Tuesday, we're going to do victory formation.
Hope we get to use it a lot.
It would be nice to be able to use it some more. And take that knee and get up and get out of there. And that's going to be the ball game. The coffee pot stays in Tullahoma. And good win for our football team. That hard-fought game. I thought both teams played really hard, and as you said earlier, both teams probably could play better.
Well, in an emotional game like this, there's going to be some breakdowns.
Always is on any level.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's good to be victorious.
Coach, there's a few things we got to do. We got to thank Rick Gerwin, Mid-South Distributing, for the water.
Yes, and we appreciate, over the years, they have been so helpful to us.
They have.
I can't say enough thank yous to Mid-South and to the Gurry family.
And to P-Head for the sausage and biscuits. And do we still get the donuts from the Donut Palace? Didn't know whether that name had changed or not. And we want to thank them. Now, it's my understanding we don't have any pictures of our outstanding players. But we have names and numbers.
Okay.
And the first one is the Offensive Player of the Week, and this is no real surprise. Trey Burks, who I think had 3 touchdowns, 1 a punt return.
And I thought he showed a lot of emotion last night and leadership.
Yeah, I think maybe that run he made last week, he's decided now he can run football.
He's running good, I can say that.
And our Defensive Player of the Week is number 40, Dalton Cox.
And Dalton's our middle linebacker and two-way player and just leaves everything on the field.
And the middle linebacker should make a lot of tackles.
He should. And again, Cody Michael played well. Joe London had another really good second half.
He's getting better all the time.
And Trevor Denny was all over the place. And, we had kids playing hard last night.
The one thing that I was a little disappointed in, especially in the first half, is we'd get back there to the quarterback and we wouldn't break down and make the tackle.
Couldn't tackle him, didn't sack him.
Run by him.
Yep.
Or let him run by us. And our unsung hero is our kickoff man, number 15, Cody Morton. You talked about field position the whole night.
And
he kept them backed up.
52-yard punt.
Yes.
Last week he averaged, I think, 49 yards a punt last week. He had one that would have been 70 if it hadn't gone into the end zone.
That turns the field around.
He put several kickoffs in the end zone. I think they never got outside the 30-yard line on the kickoff return. And Cody hit a field goal and hit all the PATs, and that was nice to see us have some consistency there.
Good luck this week, Coach. Who we got?
Got Lincoln County down at the pit. So first road trip for this young team.
The concrete beaches.
The concrete bleachers, and we'll see how we react on the road.
He did nice his birthday.
Well, we don't have anybody to sing to Coach, but it is.
I hope not.
It is his birthday today, and we wish you a happy birthday. I'm glad you're getting to celebrate it with the coffee pot.
I appreciate that very much.
Have a good week, Coach.
Thank you.